just out here scheming through the night. Yeah, counting up, dog, we gon' be alright.
Hey guys, hey! It's the Belly Bunch. What I do, baby? This is the first time that you've actually been on this channel doing a story time. How you feel? You don't have feels. You don't have feels.
I don't have feelings.
You don't have feels. Before we get into the story time, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you always get notified when we get a new video or when we upload a new video. Also, check the description down below for our social medias and our main channel. So, are you ready for me to tell you the story time?
Let's do it. I don't think I heard this story before.
Yeah, I want to hear your reaction. So actually in our recent story time, or my recent story time, I told you all about my personal paranormal experience. I, at this point in my life, didn't have it, but my mom and stepdad had it. So, although I only had one paranormal activity sort of experience, this one involves my mom and stepfather. And kind of me too, although I didn't really directly deal with it. So, okay. Let's hear about it.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
This is my first time hearing this.
October. All right. So there was a time in my life, 11th grade specifically, where I went to a Christian school. How ironic, considering the person involved, we'll say his name's Jeremy.
All right, Jeremy.
He was a ghost hunter. And I'm not trying to be funny. Like, he was a legit ghost hunter. Actually, he kind of got bullied for it.
Like a Ghostbuster?
He was like a Ghostbuster, but a ghost hunter. Like, him and his parents will go out to graveyards and try to do readings and things like that. They were actually known in our area, which we weren't into ghosts at the time, but they were known in our area. They would go to different homes and scope out like hauntings and try to speak to people who've passed for people to feel good and, you know, things like that. So they actually, him and his family had a living off of it, like a whole career centered around, like, you know, talking to ghosts.
That's pretty cool that you can make a career out of that, but pretty odd career.
Some people are into it. Some people are into it. Anyways, I say all that to say the guy did get teased a lot. And one day I decided, hey, let me just ask him about it. So the guy and I were talking. He's telling me about his experiences and how he lives in a haunted house and how his house has been around since the 30s. And I mean, he was really, really into it. And I don't know how this conversation got brought up, but I told him how my mom and stepfather at the time wanted a fish tank. It was something that they always wanted, and he just so happened to have several
fish tanks.
You'll see why. He had several empty fish tanks. So he said, hey, this weekend I can drop it off. I'm actually going to be in your area doing like a ghost reading with my parents, and then I'll just bring one to you. And I said, well, that's nice of you. How much do you want? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it, like on the house. So I tell my mom, I tell my stepdad, they're all excited, like, wow, this saves us a couple $100 because this is a big fish tank, okay? Fish tanks can get expensive. Brings it over. We're excited. It looks brand new. And then literally that night, my mom and stepdad said they experienced things. Now at this point, I'm not around, I'm sleeping, I don't know what I'm doing. But the following day, it was outside next to the recycling bin. What do you think about that? A brand new fish tank.
They threw it out the day after.
The day after, it just so happened to be recycling day. It was outside.
Experiencing stuff with the dead fish?
There was no fish in it. It was just a giant fish tank.
I'm saying, like, probably at night, probably like.
Okay, so then I get mad.
Ghost fish like staring at you while you're sleeping like this.
Like this. My previous owner's gonna feed me. Let me stop. So anyways, I get mad at my mom and stepdad the following day. I'm like, yo, this is so disrespectful. You had this guy come out of his way, bring this expensive fish tank, and you put it out in the recycling, and they go, listen, don't tell him we told you this. But after we got that fish tank at night, we were cleaning it and doing all this stuff, and we couldn't stop feeling energy. Like, we were hearing voices, whispering, like creepy stuff, I promise you. Now, my mom and stepdad, they're not into, what would you call it, like paranormal? Like, before this experience, they never like brought it up. They're not into like spirits and like they don't care about it. Actually, at this point, we didn't even celebrate Halloween. It was just something that never got brought up. Like there was no interest, and all of a sudden these people were freaked out the next day. Like, look.
You told them like.
Oh, I didn't tell him anything about this kid, besides the fact that he had fish tanks and that he was willing to give us one for free. And they didn't know anything about him. They just knew, look, I know some of that fish tank because we ain't never experienced stuff. And when we're experiencing stuff, we try to go to sleep. The fish tank staring at us. I felt energies, hearing noises. So they threw that crap out the next day.
As they should have.
So then I said, oh my God, are you serious? Well, that's funny you say that because Jeremy said he lived in a haunted house. Jeremy said he was a whole gustbuster out here in these streets. Jeremy.
How do you live in a haunted house? I mean, I feel like I could live in a haunted house, but I'm not gonna like believe in the haunted house things and live in the haunted house. Me, I'm not afraid of no haunted house. But some
people, okay. So you really believe you could live in a haunted house?
Yeah, I don't fear nothing. I'll be like, I don't fear nothing.
That's because EJ's never had an experience. Because let me tell you,
nah,
I ain't gonna fear none of that. Like this.
I ain't hearing none of that. If them ghosts want hands, what's up? Pull up.
So anyways, I tell my mom and stepdad about Jeremy, and I mean, they were freaked out. They were actually mad at me. Can you believe it? They said, why you didn't tell us before? We wouldn't have accepted the gift. So, okay, Monday comes, and I tell Jeremy, not that I threw the fish tank away. I didn't tell him that. But I said, hey, what's up with that fish tank? My mom and stepdad said they experienced this, that, and the third. And he's like, oh yeah, I would expect that. And I'm like, what you mean you would expect that? And so what he does is when him and his family go out to different homes and stuff, they take the things that are haunted, I guess, because he said, the way he described it is like, sometimes objects have like history behind them and like hauntings and stuff. And he collects them.
Wow.
And so they're all in his home. That's why he had like several fish tanks. That's why he has several this, several that, several books, several dolls, because he collects them. And I'm like, in my head, then why the hell you gave it to me?
Jeremy, you odd, bro.
Why Jeremy gave that to me then? Shouldn't you have preserved that? I mean, what you want, another client? With that? That's what you're trying to get out of me?
Probably what he's trying to do.
Anyway, so that's what he told me, that he got the fish tank. It wasn't even his fish tank. It was from somewhere else, like, because they travel all around the world and they would bring certain things back as like collector's items and store things away. And he just didn't expect us to have an experience so soon. So I felt like that was kind of like messed up on his end.
That like, is do you wild.
Yeah, like why are you trying to bring that in my house?
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, shout out to them crazy kids in high school who have those like odd stories. Like I remember one kid said he got probed by aliens, and he would always walk around school with his like hair all frizzed up. Really? Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? There's some odd people out there. I shout out to them. I like them. If it wasn't for people like those, this world wouldn't be so beautiful.
Yeah, that's true. Because look at Albert Einstein. They found him weird and he figured a lot of things out.
Exactly.
But do you personally believe that the fish tank has something on it? Because how ironic that my
yeah, it's really ironic. It hasn't happened to me, so I really can't.
You can't say.
I can't say. Nothing like that has happened to me when it comes to like paranormal experiences, something like that. Or maybe it has, and I just like be like. It has.
Cause I remember in the old home, you said you heard knocks, but they were faint, and you still slept.
Who knows? It could have been. You know how you hear the AC knocking sometimes. Oh my gosh! So, like I said, it's never really happened to me. EJ makes if it does, it probably went like
over your head.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I ain't scared of none of that.
Well, I would love to hear your experiences and thoughts down below in the comment section. And until next time. Spooky. Okay, we're so extra. See you in our next video, guys. Peace. Whoa! How did we get here?
I don't know.
Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hit that notification bell so you always get notified when a new video comes. Hit that subscribe button also, and
go ahead and watch some more videos from your favorite family, the Bailey Bunch. Till next time.
Mwah!